soul sound serves at my side.
Hello folks, welcome to tag number 4, and this is our tag with all the great lovely, and there are some items that move a little bit also as well. Great layers to this. Okay, so in your kit you're going to have a chipboard piece, a large decorative edge, and this paper will fit on top of it. Then you'll have a smaller with a striped purple flower paper on top of that, and then Tim's medium oval with the green paper on top of that. So you're going to glue these onto your chipboard pieces, get those all ready to go, and I'll have a close-up of what we're cutting out from our paper as well. The first one is this section right here. You can see all the outline there, the bird with the white flowers, the cage, and then the smaller flowers, and there'll be a still shot for you to look at a little bit better. And then this one here, this is the Mayflower paper, and way in the corner right down there you're cutting out the bow. Okay, so this paper is Springtime. This is the Springtime paper, and you're cutting out at the top there the cage and the flower. Can you see the bird here with the leaves and the flower? This is all one piece right here. Then you're cutting out the bird cage, that's the second piece, and then you're cutting out this little flower section here as the third piece. Okay, so cut those sections out, get your paper laid up with your chipboard, and come on back and we will put our tag together. Hello folks, we're back and we're going to put together our fourth tag here. So I have glued my paper onto my chipboard pieces, all three, excuse me, all three pieces. And on the green, on the back of the green, I added some foam tape just for a little more dimension. So here we go, we're going to, this one, the smaller purple goes on top of the bigger purple. Okay, and before we glue the green one down, I added a little bit of the trim that we have that you have in your kit. You should have a little piece left over, and what I did was I wrapped it around halfway through, halfway down. I wrapped a little piece around and brought it around to the back and gave it like a little, looks like a little hula skirt. So cut that. And glue that down, and I used a little hot glue for that, just to hold it secure. So there's this cute little hula in the back there. And then I stuck this down. Okay, so that's what we have there. Now at this point, I thought that some of these were a little too long, and you can trim them if you'd like. You can see on my final one, I kind of trimmed them on the corners a little bit. See these little guys sticking out? I kind of trimmed those off. It's up to you. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's just netting, so it trims pretty easy. I just thought that they stuck out just a little bit too much. So I trimmed those edges off. But once again, that's up to you. Okay, so now we have our cutout pieces, paper pieces. And the first one is the bird cage. And I did use foam tape as for these as well, because they have to sit on top of that netting. So this bird cage sits right about here. So I used some foam tape on the back there just to let it sit on top of the netting a little bit easier. Okay. Alright, then next came the bird cage. I mean the bird nest. And you'll get one of these in your kit. And this is from Prima. They come in a little package. And what I did was I thought it was a little bit too big, so I peeled back the outer edge of the nest. And I just kind of peeled out the center section there. So I just separated the two. Okay, and you can save this for something else. I'm sure you'll find something for it. And then this sat right about there. Okay, my bird that I cut out is the bird all cut out. So the bird I cut out sits right about there. Okay, and once again I used a little bit of foam tape on the back here, just on that back section, to hold that down. Okay, and you can play with that, manipulate that a little bit more too to make it look lifelike. Okay, it'd help if I glued my bird's nest down. And I did use hot glue for that because it needs to stick down pretty well. Okay, so this is what we have going on. Okay, so now we have our bow. And oops, I forgot to cut the bow out. Do that really quick. Cut the bow out to add that on. And you can see too in my original that I added some little white flowers and some extra flowers that I had found on the papers that I could trim and cut out, and you can use that. You can do that for any of these tags. You know, I'm actually giving you direction on what to cut out and what to trim, but in actuality, you know, when you're done with all of this and all the tags are made, there's going to be plenty of paper left, and you can certainly go back and continue trimming and cutting and adding little pieces where you feel you need to on your tags, or you can make whole new tags. And there'll be plenty of paper left over and plenty of items to cut out left over that you can do that. That's what I love about the Graphic 45 paper. There's so many opportunities on this paper to really do some trimming and cutting and fussy cutting and really have a lot of fun with it. So there's my bow all cut out. And the bow was positioned right there under the nest. And I used hot glue for that as well. Okay, so now I had these little flowers cut out, that I had you cut these little flowers out. I have white ones over here, but I thought the pink ones would look a little better. But it's up to you. There's tons of little paper flowers left on this paper that you can use. So I'm going to glue those down. And then once again, this is the area that I cut out with the birds that we just did. It just, it came out of there, it came out of there. So there's some extra flowers on here that you can cut out, extra leaves that you can cut out, and you can certainly add on to there. And then a couple of stick pins, and once again, there's lots of areas to stick these pins into. There's lots of chipboard. There's lots of, you know, raised areas. And I stuck one in there, and then I stuck the shorter one. And that's what I love about the chipboard, is that it really gives you lots of opportunity to use stick pins so that they don't go anywhere. Oops, but I forgot, before I put the stick pin in, you'll have two of these little gems in your kit, and they have little holes in them. I don't know if you can see the little holes. See them? And you're going to thread it onto the stick pin, and then you're going to stick it in. So that was my fault. I forgot to do that. So there's one, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Thread this on, and then stick this one in as well. And there are two stick pins. You'll have another pearl, and the pearl is going to sit right at the top of that bird cage circle there. I thought it looked a little odd by itself, so I put a little dot of glue, and then I put my pearl on there. Oops. Huh, maybe no glue came out, and I just lost my pearl. Get back here. Okay, there's the glue, and there's the pearl. Okay. And that's about it, folks. The only thing that's left is some stickles, and I did put some on the bow. I put some in the middle of the flowers, and then you can see here that I added some liquid pearls. I used the pink ones, the pink liquid pearls, and I put some dots all the way around. And once again, if you wanted to cut out some of the white flowers or extra flowers in your kit, you can certainly do that and add those on. But other than that, other than adding the tie in the back, the jute tie in the back, this one here, your fourth one, is all done. And I like the fact that these kind of move around a little bit too. They kind of swing and move and go up and down. That's it, folks. Alright, finish that one up and then come back for our last tag, tag number 5.